Hey again, this is Micah with ECAP, and I want to talk to you now about when to start looking for a job. We're going to do a whole series here. It's going to be when, where, and how to look for a job. When to look for a job, though? Now. I mean, whenever you are ready to teach, you need to start looking for the job. There are some things we'll get to at the end that you need to have accomplished really before you start looking seriously, but you need to start looking at any time because teachers do get hired year round. But what you're probably here for is like, what's the peak season? And so let's talk about that. The peak hiring season is going to be June 1st through September. So you want to be in the market on June 1st. The reason schools start hiring heavily in June is because that's when school's out. So basically, you want to look at the district where you want to teach or districts where you want to teach. Look at their schedule. The principal is going to be busy during STAR testing at the end of the year, and then all the way until the very, very end of the year, just with closing up school, closing out the year. They're not really looking at teachers necessarily at that time. This year might be an exception in a post-COVID environment because there is a huge teacher shortage, and we've seen a lot of school job fairs happening in April and May, and I suspect we'll see them in June as well. But really, principals, the person who hires you is the principal. Principals start to look at those candidates in June when all the teachers go home, all the students are gone, and they're sitting in their office and they're able to get some work done. So June 1st is a good target date for those of you who need a deadline. Make it June 1st. Principals hire all the way through, and it depends on what you want to teach. Some things are hired early, some things are hired late, but really principals are hiring all the way through September and even into October. So we're telling people to still stick with it in October. We're, talking people off the cliff, proverbially speaking, about I'm not going to get a job. In October, lots of people are still getting hired, but it does begin to taper off. So you start to see less and less and less all the way up till Christmas. And then you have our Christmas break. And then after Christmas break, we have a little bump, 50, 75, sometimes 100 teachers. If we have a year at ECAP where we have 550, 600 teachers, then probably 100 of those are hired after Christmas, after the Christmas break. And that happens pretty early, so January, February. So if you're hitting the market at an odd time, like it's now October or November and you're only deciding that you can teach or you want to teach, you've only made this decision just now, you can look in January and February, absolutely. But realistically, you should expect to find a position in the next upcoming school year. What a lot of people do, if they can't find something in that first year, then they will settle for an educational aid position or something like that, or even substituting to get their foot in the door at a school. So, but honestly, start applying whenever you are qualified to apply. Two tasks you need to really complete to be an effective applicant or to be an attractive applicant. One is pass your content exams. These are Texas exams if you require content exams. Be accepted into a program, which you have to be accepted to a program before you can pass those content exams. So that's actually, we'll say three things. So three things: get into a program, pass your content exams, and then complete our first 5 courses. You're going to get called into an interview, and they're going to ask you how to do a lesson plan or something like what your favorite lesson plan is, and you need to have an answer. So 3 things you need to do before you really start applying is get into a program, pass your Texas exams, and then complete our first 5 courses so that you have a clue if somebody were to call you in for an interview.